Okay. Right then. So you're all agreed to go with him. Any other concerns or anything?
No, I've already justified it.
Right. So he'll supply food and water and everything that you need on the journey. And he intends to set off a week from today. So you have a week to
Right.
prep. We'll do anything else you wish. You're hiring on that guy, who I will have to define at some later point, as your steward.
Yeah, we'll actually have to like do some sort of whatever the medieval equivalent of betting is.
Do you have the pox? No, sir. You're in. Right. Yeah, so do you want to score any gear or...
So we're going to Mungoda. What do we know about this place? Not a lot, do we?
the hidden continent, the unexplored continent, the uncharted continent, jungles, deserts, lizard men, hostile tribes, and apparently gold. So it would seem.
Never fought a lizard man before. Look forward to this
There's always the first
opportunity.
time. There's always the first time.
There is indeed.
Uh,
So was there anything you wanted?
uh, I want my ring recharged.
That's what she said.
Is that before or after cash in hand? Did we actually get his name this time?
Yes. Milano. What's his last name? Where is it?
Fiorenska.
Yes, Milano Fiorenska.
Milano
Right.
Fiorens. Yeah.
Before we set out for the big adventure of wealth beyond wealth, I'll put my feelers out to find out if I can find any more information on this.
Now that you have his name. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not paying a lot and I'm not paying a little. I'm paying the what I see is enough information to satisfy my interest.
Okay. What's your perception?
For an assassin, it's pretty low. 9.
No, because it goes against stealth, so that's not actually
right.
that low.
Okay. Myself 20.
You what? Sorry.
Myself is 20 and my perception's 9.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So you spend a few days asking around. Milano he belongs to a sort of lower rank of a fairly actually influential family called the Senfriti. By the standards of merchants here, he's not very rich. When you ask around, apparently he's squandered his inheritance on silly ventures. That's the story you get sort of from the more upper classes and from the other sort of spies and servants.
Yeah.
But down towards the docks, you hear a different story. The sailors seem to think fairly highly of him, and their side of the story is that he's been deliberately stifled by rivals in high places, that the higher-ups in his own family and in other families have done everything they can to make things difficult for him.
So basically, he's been given a challenge to prove his family's name by starting off with one with the ladder, basically.
It seems more like this is a part of a sort of pattern of behaviour. He will go after really sort of wild and crazy ideas and long shots because it's been made so difficult for him to get ahead any other way.
I'm happy with that. Try this differently. You'll get blatant. Yes.
It's that we'd be risking our potential pay as well by sort of helping him.
But he's more likely to succeed. So
Yes. Okay. Maybe we should take our our companions with us.
Why, you scared they're going to have a house party behind our back?
Let's cut them out of the deal. Let's leave without them.
Oh, did we ever find out about these moondog teeth? Are they enchanted or special in any way?
There's residual magic on them, but that's really it.
I better go buy a princess or a prince for one of these. Hey.
A low-level sorcerer, someone might be interested in them, perhaps. Can do something with them, but...
Sorry.
Well, I think I have all the equipment that I need, really, except for food and water.
Yeah, which we can
That'll be
supply.
provided.
So.
Yep, I'm good.
Can I change my horse's name from Blag to Phantom, James?
You can indeed. It's a horse that
Thank
doesn't
you.
care about such things.
Yeah, as long as it gets fed and watered and looked after, that's the main.
Yeah.
Did I lose my warhorse between? Oh no, I didn't.
No.
I still have.
But you can't really take the horses with you.
No.
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 Okay, so a week passes reasonably swiftly. The steward seems to be good. He seems to know his stuff, though he's a bit old. So he and the other adventurers who are left behind can look after the house and pursue other lines of wealth and inquiry. And then you go to meet Milano's ship with the tide. The ship is called the Pantokratos Fist. It's a medium-sized cog, fairly low with all the goods that it's carrying. There's about 20 men on the crew. Milano introduces you to the captain, Hieronymus Vant, a free man from Asmulia. He's pretty sort of gruff and terse, and doesn't particularly care. He seems to view you more as cargo than anything else. It's his job to get Milano there, and your job to protect him once you do get him there. So is there anything else I need to worry about here? Okay, there is one free cabin, which can conveniently enough hold 3 people, though it's a bit cramped. So, you won't have to go downstairs and sleep with the crew, which is good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep. Stow your gear in your sea chests, and, They cut themselves off from the dock and set partial sail until they're out of the way of the other vessels, and then full sail. Milano and the captain look over their charts and argue back and forth in the local language, which you don't speak yet. It seems to be quite an animated discussion, but since at least Milano has made this journey before, he seems to be, and also the one financing it, he seems to be the one largely in charge. But the captain puts his foot down about a couple of things. You're just not sure what.
Seems like normal sort of behavior.
Yep. How are you going to spend your time on board? Because you're going to be travelling for some time.
Are we expected to work, or are we literally passengers?
You can work if you want to, but you're just being paid to defend Milano.
Seems. I suppose if I'm going to pass at least a bit of my time, maybe sort of like teach a couple of the people who are willing a few fundamentals of fighting.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and see if I can learn the lingo.
Yeah. Yeah, you can pick up a few words, mostly swear words.
You know, we're all,
Well, better than nothing.
if we're all going to be in this together, we better each have our own backs. You need to know how to fight.
I know how to fight.
And how's Becca going to spend her time?
I think I might practice some seamanship. Really, I think chandlery.
Yeah.
Rigging.
Yeah. I mean, you're a strong lass and a big lass, so they're actually glad of the help, and you sort of making yourself useful ingratiates you with the sailors. Many of whom start making passes at you.
I'm not going to pull the. I'll pull the red Sonia card. I'll say, "You got to beat me first. You got to beat me first, Sunbeam." It's not going to happen, is it?
Oh God!
Sonia, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah,
he briefly appears in it. Yeah.
Prince Palador.
Yeah, though it's also Brunhilde, if you want to be more highbrow about it, who wouldn't sleep with anyone who couldn't beat her. So.
Oh God, I've just had the music of Red Sonja in the back of my head playing. Stop that. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
Yeah, so on a more serious note, in my, so are these sailors all worth their salt, and it's all a good crew and going untoward?
It's a good crew. They all seem to know what they're about, and there's a ship's doctor and a ship's chaplain as well. Should you have call for either of them, but yeah, they seem to know what they're about, and seem to be enthused about Milano's mission. You're about 6 days out, starting to get a little bit twitchy, when a huge cog about 2, maybe 3 times the size of your vessel appears on the horizon and gradually begins to draw closer.
I don't like the look of that. You know, why would a ship be approaching us from so far away? You think they could be pirates? I mean, he did mention there were pirates on these waters.
Isn't this a trading route?
That would be why there would be pirates.
I'll see if I can find a telescope or binoculars or something to see if I can zoom in and see its colours.
I'll alert the captain if he hasn't already noticed.
Aye, we see him. Let's just wait till we get a better idea of who they are. The lookout, the cabin boy up in the crow's nest has the telescope, so you'll have to climb up there if you want to borrow it.
Nope, I'll do that.
What's your reflexes?
Ooh, 16.
Okay, no problem. You climb up all the netting pretty easily. Get up to the top. The cabin boy sat there looking out at the telescope. He hands it over to you.
No problem.
Yeah, what's your perception?
Perception 9.
Okay.
I am looking through the right way.
Yeah. Oh, they're miles off. Whoa!
Over the horizon, Jim. I've just started playing the Conan the Barbarian keyboard.
Right. Eventually, you can make out the flag that's flying, and beneath the sort of merchant company's flag is a white cross on a black field, which is the symbol of the Order of St. Withen, the Knights Capillars.
Ooh, interesting. I'll give Jim his telescope back, and I'll go back down,
Yep.
and I'll look for the Tin Man if I can find him. The Big Jack.
Yep.
Do you know anything about this Order of Blah?
Do I know anything about them?
They're kind of this world's equivalent of the Knights Templar in some ways. Wealthy, powerful, heavily involved in the Crusades, bit devout.
So the good guys, then. You have nothing to worry about. I fought us alongside them many a year ago.
Is that before or after they tried to kill you for your wealth?
Wait a minute, hold on. Was I not? Do I not resent the Knights Templar by now? Because
Possibly, probably, maybe.
that's true. Because I was in the Crusades, but then I got horribly burned, and now I'm not in the Crusades. Mm-hmm.
So you might resent them
A little bit.
and the whole thing.
Does it look like does it look like they're actually going to so-called sail along beside us, or look like they're actually ramming speed, James?
They just look like they're sailing along to intercept you. With your naked eye, you can now make out the name of the ship in large letters along the front. It's apparently called the Deliverance.
Well,
Captain calls out, "Man, keep your weapons handy, just in case. I reckon we've got the speed on them if we need it, so make ready to add sail." And all
we should at least, if they're coming this way, we should at least see what they want. And
you're on good terms with them, are you not? Did you?
I mean, I would think they would at least recognize my commitment to their former cause.
Well, you can if they try to sail along beside us, you can do your pleasantries.
Indeed.
"Ahoy! Pantocrator's Fist. Your ship has a good God-fearing name."
Am I waiting for the captain to reply?
The captain looks at Milano. Milano looks at the captain. Then Milano shouts, "We are at Ferromain and bound for Parutan, which is to be found in Mungoda." "An adventuresome mission indeed. I am Runelf of Covenna, commander of the Knights Capillar in Brayburg. I'm taking this horde of pilgrims to the Holy Land." He gestures back at the ship, which has crowds of people moving up at the rails.
Aha! Brunel from that place. I can't remember the name of it. So shit with names. I'm assuming Sir Elaine knows what the name is.
You probably know this guy by reputation. He's a fairly well liked for a zealous knight.
I'm Sir Elaine of Brayblack. I fought not alongside you, but in the same campaign some years ago.
Yeah, you can drop the name of a couple of battles. "Ah, Hard fought. Always good to meet another knight.
Why have you sailed your ship so close? Surely not just to say hello.
A friendly face.
Well, hello.
Hello.
This seems suspicious. Why are they? So, what business do you have with us?
None really. What news from Pheromane?
I'm going to look over to Captain and he says, "What news from Pheromane?"
He shrugs. The ships pull up alongside each other, basically, and people shout things back and forth, and a little bit of trade goes on. So things swung over on ropes and swung back. Do you want to trade anything with them, or try and get any information out of them, or are you just happy to let everyone else do that?
I'll try and see if I can get any gossip out of them.
Let's see. Yeah, you trade a few bits and pieces back and forth, some drink or something from the stores. Mm-hmm. From what you gather, the Knights Capillar are in something of an uproar at the moment, apart from these men who are doing sort of escort duty and patrol duty in the Holy Land. But something has upset the higher orders of the knights, and there's a lot of men riding to and fro their various strongholds and going all over the place. So yeah, something has upset the balance of power within the knights. Not that you think it particularly has anything to do with you, but something to note.
Prime Directive 66. Death to all Templar.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, you spend another 5 boring days on ship. You're quite used to the role of it now, so it's not making you so sick.
In the Navy. In the Navy.
Right. Can you all make perception rolls, taking your perception away from a stealth of 16?
Okay. So, that'd be... Okay, I'm going to roll my dice. 3.
That's the magic number.
It is indeed, for me.
So that was a success.
16, so
yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. Okay, just give me a sec here.
Yeah, because myself is 20, and perception's 9. 9 away from 20 is 11. Plus,
no, it's it would be the 9 away from 16.
Oh, 9 away from 16.
So that would be 7, and then you rolled a 3.
Yep, I got 3, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, who's poisoned me?
Nobody yet.
Yet.
Okay. Did anyone else succeed or fail? Or
No.
you failed? Jack, did you fail?
Yeah, I failed.
Okay. Right. So it's dusk, about 5 days from your last encounter. Scizora, you're sort of smoking a pipe or something on the upper deck, leaning on the rail. You think you hear drumming, but then it seems to abruptly stop, and no one else seems to have heard it particularly. You sort of look out over the waves, and a shadow moves across. You think you can vaguely make out the silhouettes of men where the sea joins the sky. possibly a low ship there somewhere, very close, and you hear the creaking of wood and the straining of rope.
How far away?
500 meters, maybe.
Okay. I will put my pipe out. And do I have enough time to go up to the crow's nest?
To what, sorry?
Do I have enough time to get up to the crow's nest, judging by how far away they are?
Yeah.
Right, I'll go up to the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Have a look through the telescope if it's sitting there or whatever.
Yeah. There is a long ship, though it's hard for you to see as everything's getting dark and turning sort of grey and black. Its mast has been taken down and its sail folded, and there's a bunch of men sort of hunched down behind the shields that are arranged along the side. And at the back of this long ship is a catapult, which is being turned and cranked back.
Oh dear.
Is there like a bell on this crow's nest?
Yes, there is. There's an alarm bell.
Right, I'll ring the bell.
Okay, you start hammering and ringing the bell.
Yep.
As the sound reaches these men in the long ship, they take to oars and start hauling on them, and the ship rapidly starts to close in on your cog.
Pardon?
I suppose hearing the bell, I'm gonna run up from the cabin
Yeah.
to just yell out, "What is the trouble?"
I point in the direction of where the long ship is.
Ah,
Yeah. Takes
raiding
you.
party, ship, everyone, grab bows.
Takes you a moment to see it, and the crew are all sort of scattering to their duties. It closes to within about 250 meters and starts moving alongside you as everyone gets ready. Sort of bows and arrows are being passed up from below decks from the stores. Then there's a strange green flash from the vessel, and in that scattered green light, you can see the whole shape of it, sort of graven with dragon heads at both ends. And then the catapult fires, and a strange projectile hurtles from it. That's the thing that's glowing green. For a moment, you think it's going to miss, but it actually veers and changes course in mid-air and falls like a lump of partially melted snow, but green and glowing, on the deck, and starts exuding vapour.
Oh no. Would I have time to don my mail?
Yeah, you just got to basically haul that on. It's the plate mail that takes a long time to put on, really.
Yeah, and grab my sword and get up on deck.
Yeah, so you burst out onto deck as the captain is ordering, "Buckets! Douse that thing!" But there's no heat coming off this thing, even though it looks like it's a flame. It's just billowing this green vapour. Like the size of a catapult rock projectile, so maybe half a metre radius. No, diameter, sorry, not radius.
The boat itself, is like the entire thing, like, what's the word? Has it got like a raised edge, or does it drop off at some point?
Gunnel is
Yeah.
the word.
The vessel you're on, or the enemy one?
The vessel we're on.
It's got that raised part at the back, and it does overhang, if that's what you mean.
Do you mean a castle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just checking out a picture of a cog. Yeah, the entire thing. So we would actually have to lift it up and to get it off the boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, instant thinking. Like, I'm just gonna like yell at Becca and say, "Let's throw it off the ship."
Okay. So you two move towards it, but something's happening. The column column of vapour rises higher and thickens, and something dark is visible and swirling within it. 3 figures. A sudden gust of wind stirs the cloud and disperses it. As the tattered wisps drift away, 3 black-armoured warriors are revealed, swathed in clothes of black and red, standing in a circle, their hands resting on the pommels of their unsheathed swords. The tallest one has long black hair, the single streak of silver. And this standing in defence where this thing is. And the wind is gusting around all over the vessel. Right, let me just get their initiatives in order. Right, so Elaine, you first.
Okay. I'm going to, just attack the first person in front of me.
The first one you see. Okay, so you move forward to meet the first warrior. He towers a good head over you. Long dark hair, long dark beard, streak of silver in the hair, sort of Viking style helmet minus the horns. Yeah, and he moves to meet your attack. So take. Well, what's your attack?
My attack in total is 20.
Okay. Take 10 away from that. And roll to hit.
No, complete miss.
Okay. You swing for him and he just kind of absently sort of knocks your blade aside with his own. But his face turns into a grin like he's been anticipating and wanting a proper battle. Becca, what are you doing?
We're going to hit the nearest one with my claymore, full on.
Okay, so you come in from the other side and go for this one. Okay.
What, the biggest one, is it?
Elaine's already engaged with the biggest one.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you can attack him if you want, but
No.
no, one of the other ones. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your attack?
18. Sorry, 21. Sorry.
21. Okay, take 8 away from your attack.
So 11. Yay, 2. That's a hit.
That's a hit. Okay, roll to bypass armor.
Seven.
That's past armor. Roll damage.
10 hits.
10 hits. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you come charging up. He blocks as best he can, but the sheer power of your swing brings it through, smashes into his armor at his side, and sort of dents it inward. He staggers, but weirdly doesn't seem to particularly register the pain.
What?
Caesura, you're furthest away. You were up in the
I'm
crow's
still in the
nest.
crow's nest. I'm still
Yeah,
in the crow's
so
nest.
what do you want to do?
With my crossbow, do I see the captain on the other ship? Someone who looks like of authority.
Looking across with the telescope quickly to the other ship, you see 3 men identical to the 3 men on your deck, but they're all sort of stood there with their hands together, sort of concentrating.
Right. I'll fire a crossbow bolt at what was the biggest one, which Jack was attacking on the ship, but I'm attacking the biggest one on their ship.
Will it reach? What's the range on crossbows in this? Weapons. Spells. There we go. Crossbow. Long range.
250.
Yeah, so it's at its most extreme range, but you can try lobbing a bolt over there. Take 7 away from your attack and roll under it.
Okie dokie, here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, you fucking jammy bastard. 1. I got a 1.
Oh,
Okay, so that's a
that's going to
hit.
surprise him.
Roll to bypass armor.
That'd be a D10, I believe.
I
For
believe so.
crossbow bolt. Yep. 9.
Okay, and roll damage.
6.
6. Okay.
So that was a 9 on the D10 and a 6 on the D8.
Yeah.
Most preferably, I was aiming for the head. Break his concentration.
Wow. Okay, it smacks into his helmet and ricochets off, but seems to have stunned him or something.
Yeah.
Interrupted his train of
Concentration.
thought. Yeah. Right. The lead one roars in anger, sort of glancing up the mast, and tries to kind of cleave his way through Sir Alain to get to it. Right, what's Sir Alain's defense?
12. Wait, no. 15.
15. Okay. He strikes you a terrible mortal blow, rolling a crit, so that automatically gets past armor. Take 9 health of damage.
Oh. Okay.
Ouch.
Right, so he cleaves into you with his two-handed blade so hard it sort of lifts you up and knocks you out of the way, and he moves to the base of the mast. Right. The other 2 wheel on Becca, so you've got to defend against 2, Becca.
Lovely.
So how are you splitting your defense?
I've got 13 defense, so I'll go 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Okay. And 7. What's your armor rating?
4.
4. Do you have a shield?
No.
Right. So the first one swings high. You duck under the blow, and it kind of goes off your shoulder armor, cants up and misses you. The second one does more of a stab while you're forced down into that crouched position and drives the point of his blade into you for 6 health of damage.
Ouch.
Yeah, the YouTube connection just keeps dropping now. I don't know whether it's my connection or them or what. But, yeah. Anyway. Several of the crew move in and try to attack these guys. Okay. The one Becca cleaved falls underneath the blades of several of the crew, sort of hacking and smashing at him, but the body just evaporates into green vapor and disappears. Next turn. Scizora. Scizora's turn. You there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Just reload your crossbow, or
Yep, reloading the baby.
okay. Right. Alain.
Oh. terrible pain. Uh, I can. The guy who just threw me halfway across the ship into. What's he up to at the moment?
He's at the base of the mast looking up.
I don't want to deal with him anymore. I'm gonna run over to Becca and attack the one that she's dealing with
Yep.
from behind.
Okay. Take 8 away from your attack and roll.
Come on, I want to hit this time. Attack is 20. Big way 8. No, I miss again.
Okay. So you come hurtling up behind him, but he twists and blocks you and then turns back towards Becca. It's Becca's go.
Right, if there's a lot of sailors around, I want to do a big full-blooded swing. I'll try a stab this time instead.
Okay. Take 8 away from your attack. Go for it.
Oh, that's close. 12. Yes, just.
Okay. Roll to bypass armor.
Oh, 4.
Okay. Yeah. You stab forward, it glances off the breastplate of his armor, failing to penetrate. Right.
If we attack the same person, it reduces their defense, doesn't it?
Yeah, they have to split it.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Right. The big guy, the leader, starts to climb, holding his two-handed sword in one hand and climbing with his other limbs. So he's making his way up the mast. And the guy you were attacking tries to lay another blow on Becca, sliding his blade up yours and then twisting it at the end to try and cut into you sideways. What's your defense?
13.
Okay. Yeah, sparks fly off your blades in purple and green as magic hits magic. It slides up but doesn't manage to cut into you. It just sort of hits into your chainmail where it's over the shoulder and grinds against it without penetrating. Next turn, Scizora.
Shooting at the big guy again.
Okay. Take 7 away from your attack and roll.
Okie dokie. 2.
So that's a hit. Roll to bypass armor
8.
and roll damage.
7.
7. Right. The bolt hits into him, and the soft part of flesh between his shoulder and his chest and penetrates. He sort of reels in pain, and the version of him that's climbing up disappears in a flash,
Excellent.
leaving just the one. Elaine.
I'm going furious that I keep actually not hitting anything. I'm gonna just grab my sword with both hands and try to swing it down on top of his head.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it. Take 8 away from your attack and roll.
I hit finally.
Yay!
Roll to bypass armor.
Yeah, get past armor.
Houston, we have takeoff.
1.
So that's no.
Oh.
Right. So you drive your blade down with both hands, smacks into his armor with a loud clang, and sort of knocks him down slightly onto one knee. Becca.
I'm going to follow up.
Yeah.
11 as a hit. Yeah.
Roll to bypass armor.
8. Yeah.
Yep. And roll damage.
7 hits.
Okay. So the pair of you just sort of raining blows down on him, sort of forcing him down, staggered more. Becca's blade cleaves into the shoulder, splits the metal, and bites into the flesh underneath. But he's still there and hasn't dissipated yet. Okay, next turn. Caesura, reloading again.
Last crossbow bolt, unless I've been stocked up with crossbow bolts before I came out.
You have not. So reloading.
Yep.
Elaine.
Again.
Continue raining blows. All right, take 8 away from your attack.
She turned the sword around and try and club him with the pommel. That's a legitimate technique.
Yep.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't work though. I rolled 18.
Becca.
Oh, fucking hell.
Let's finish off this guy. Yeah. Oh, was my dice? Yeah. 3. Yeah, as a hit.
Okay. Bypass armor.
8. Yep, as a wound.
And damage.
Oh. 11. Decapitation, death blow.
Well, the final blow cleaves through the top of his helmet, sort of down most of the way into his skull, and the body dissipates. Right. That seems to be everything that's on board. You hear a drum begin to beat and hear oars in the water.
I'm sort of, looking over to the boat that's I assume in the distance, and
Yeah,
try to call out and say something, but instead I'm just going to cough up blood into my helmet. Someone, you've got to go after them.
Yeah, they're sailing away, leaving you to it now.
Was the third one gone?
His controller was disrupted, so he disappeared. That's who Caesura was shooting at. So all 3 have disappeared. We can't catch them so long as they're rowing, and there's more warriors on there. I wouldn't want to tangle with them, says the captain. We should just lick our wounds and carry on.
Yeah.
Where is Francesco?
Are you all right?
We survived, at least I can say that.
Come, rest in your cabin. I'll have the doctor take a look at you.
Did you know about these things?
I knew there would be pirates, perhaps. Not that they would attack us. Not that they would attack us here.
Did you know that they had used magic?
No, this I did not know. Yeah, so you can take to your beds. You can heal up 4 of any lost health over the next few days under the tender ministrations of the doctor. And in that time, while 2 of you are laid up, really, the ship navigates the Gulf of Marazid, is sailing southwards along the coast towards the Mungoda estuary. And then, just to add insult to injury, a storm rolls in like a shroud across the sky. A rough swell soon turns into high waves that threaten to swamp the ship. Sheets of flickering lightning crash between the clouds, illuminating the pale and terrified faces of the sailors. That's not something that really instills any confidence in you if the sailors are upset. Things rapidly go from bad to worse. The captain staggers along the deck, holding onto the rail for dear life, to come to you and at your cabin. The wind's shifting. A westerly gale. It's flinging us back out to sea. Take to your cabin, strap yourselves down, maybe tie yourself to something that floats.
Starting to hate being on a boat.
Boats suck. Another day and another night pass, so you can have a point of health back just from natural healing. And it takes that long for the storm to finally abate. The crew are exhausted. And just finally, when the dawn rises and the storm subsides, the bedraggled ship keeps on going, and the men just sort of collapse against the railings and get some breath for once. In the light of the new day, the crew take stock of the damage. Some kegs of wine that were not tied down securely have gone over the side. Only one of the sailors is missing, praise God. The sky is still suddenly overcast, but there's a glimpse of sunrise that lets you all get your bearings, and the captain and Milano pore over the charts in sort of council with you. We're far out in what the Tashim sailors call the deeps of Raskana, announces the captain. We must make repairs even though everyone's exhausted. We'll organise shifts. Now you men, he says, pointing to some of the crew, get on, and then he stops in mid-sentence and just points out to sea. What's that?
Yeah, what is he pointing at?
You turn and you look. Following his gaze and the line of his pointing, you see a tall pinnacle touched by a single shaft of pink sunlight. Is it land? An island? The captain snaps orders. We'd be better off making land while we make repairs. And the crew gets the ship limping towards this thing. Milano seems even more nervous after the pirate attack and the nights that he wasn't expecting. Yeah. Maybe put your armour on, Sir Elaine.
I try to wear my armour as often as possible. Always be ready for battle.
Good man. He paces around nervously as the ship limps towards this thing, but there's nothing any of you can really do except watch as it slowly gets bigger and bigger.
I'll go to my second home, the crow's nest, and see if I can have a look at the telescope, see if I can zoom into it.
You see, and then the rest of you see a short time afterwards, well, a reasonable amount of time afterwards. It's a tower made of coral that rises straight up out of the ocean depths, with a sort of slight conical rise of island around it. It's a staggering sight, especially as the coral gives off the strange impression of having grown to form the tower rather than being cut or piled or worked. Buttresses of coral jut out from the sides, forming 4 harbours. Your ship could dock at one of them. Captain and Milano call you back. This thing is unnatural, but it will give us shelter. Do you want to risk stopping there or not? The captain says, my vote is for stopping there. We needn't disembark. We needn't involve ourselves in anything, but it would help us make repairs.
We've dealt with this sort of thing before, haven't we, Sir Elaine? Wink, wink.
Have.
Never fear, Captain. It'll be fine.
Milano, his vote is for carrying on. We can make repairs as we travel, and we've already been waylaid by unnatural pirates, and I would not push our fortune too far. So my vote is we keep going.
Why not? Why simply do one or the other? Why not simply lay anchor to investigate and then make the decision once we have more information?
They both agree that investigating might perhaps be a better idea. So they bring the ship within reasonable distance and then drop anchor and suggest that you 3, being the brave adventurers who are paid to do this sort of thing, take the dinghy and head over for a closer look.
Start some light repairs while we're gone, but Nothing that will stop the ship from moving if we need to make a quick getaway. At least that would be my advice. You're the captain after all.
Yes, but we're all on the boat together. This is Milano's adventure, and he has hired you, and you have more experience with these sorts of things. So,
Yeah, let's do it.
okay. Do any of you have any experience with ships at all, or rowing, or boats?
Well, just the last 2 weeks. That's all.
In character or real life?
In character.
I don't know. I assume being that he would have been on a boat crossing to get to...
I mean,
but that was just one trip, so...
Paddling isn't too
Not really.
difficult. So, yeah, you kind of get the hang of rowing. You're sure the sailors are having a good laugh at your expense, but you get the ship... Well, not the ship. You get the dinghy moving and bring it up closer to the coral. So this tower just, juts straight up out of the sea. With just these 4 sort of buttressed docks spreading out from it. As you get closer, you can make out a figure on the shore beckoning to you.
It's not an old man by any chance, is it?
No, it's a full suit of somewhat antique plate armor. Sort of gesturing. Come here.
Does he have any coat of arms or anything on this armour?
Just some barnacles.
It's Captain Nemo.
Well, that looks suspicious, but may as well humour him.
Well, when you humour him and ask who he is.
Fine. I'll walk over to him with at least my hand on near my sword.
Okay, so you bring the dinghy to shore, tie it off, clamber off, so that the big armoured figure just sort of crosses his arms and waits.
Hello. What? I'm Selene of Brelac. What are you? Who are you? Who do I have the honour of meeting?
Says nothing but gestures towards an archway in the side of the tower with one gauntlet.
Usually, when meeting another person, you introduce yourself.
He folds his gauntlet into a fist and with a single finger taps the front of his helmet.
Perhaps he is forbidden to speak, or...
And again, he gestures to the open archway.
Well, shall we?
Silence is assent. So... Right. So you follow the figure. He walks in through the archway. And then passes... There's like a curtain of glittering energy that runs from floor to ceiling. And he steps into it and appears to vanish. Then the gauntleted hand re-emerges from the glitter and beckons you forward. And then pulls back through it.
Appears to be some sort of magical... Wait.
Magical veil. Magical veil.
Yeah.
I was just about to say magical elevator, but the medieval don't know what elevators are.
Well, there seems to be an invitation, so shall we signal the ship to dock?
We may as well.
Where's my flare gun?
You may as well at least investigate this tower first before getting them involved.
Okay.
Since we're at the base of the tower, James, does it actually look like it's actually nature's doing making this coral tower?
I mean, it looks like it's grown, but clearly nothing like this would happen naturally, so magic must be involved.
Right, I'll take note of that. Okay. Do you want me to lead the Selene?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
I'm still badly bruised.
Yeah. At least I got the ringleader for a change, rather than him taking me down.
Okay, so
So yeah, step forwards into the light. Like, I don't trust it. But
okay. You pass through. There's a strange sort of yawning sensation in your stomach, and you emerge from the other side into a darkened chamber. The glittering archway is behind you now, and there's this big chamber in front of you. An entire side of the wall seems to be made of clear crystal of some kind, and through it you can see the sort of slowly shifting light as if you're underwater. You probably are underwater. The only real illumination comes from a few glowing fish that move around against and close to the glass. There's a dais on the far side of the room from the entrance, and against the pane of crystal and silhouetted against the shifting patterns of lights is a seated figure. He raises his hand. Welcome, travellers, to the home of Ajan.
greetings, I am Sir Lane of Brillac.
I am Ajan, weaver of enchantments. My companion there, I'm afraid he cannot speak, is Morclasto.
Well met, or cluster.
The rest of you moving through as well?
Yeah, walk through the veil.
Ah, more guests. We get so few, unfortunately. Isn't that
Oh.
right, Morclasto?
Wave the ship as I go through, yeah.
Yeah.
These are my companions, Becca, Kukan, and Seradin Artsa.
Nope, that's the mage.
That's the mage.
Sizora.
Sizora of
Off
Megov.
Nebo.
There we go. Zora of Megov. I'm just imagining that he actually said the wrong name.
Your eyes slowly adjust to the strange light from the fish, and you get a better look at Ajan. He's wearing heavy gold and azure robes, and an ornament on his chest, studded with star sapphires. He wears gloves and a mask, which covers his face, and doesn't appear to have any eye slits.
Perhaps he is blind.
He gestures, and seats sort of form themselves out of the coral and sort of rise up out of the floor. Please, I get so few guests here.
It certainly is. It's not. It's quite out of the way. Your residence.
By design, but still sometimes I miss the company of others.
I take a seat and say, "Well, thank you for your hospitality. I'm certain that you are wondering about the ship we have docked nearby. I assure you, we mean you no harm."
I get the sense your intentions are good, yes.
You simply need a place to make repairs.
You may avail yourselves of my dock for as long as you wish, though I'm afraid I lack normal mortal goods, such as the wood and rope you need for repairs, though there's always things drifting ashore. Perhaps if you search the shore you can find something. Morclasto will be happy to help with the repairs.
Awkward silence.
So tell me, how long have you been in this tower, my friend?
A long time. Did you not recognize my name? Then it must be a very long time.
Scratching my noggin, have I ever heard of this guy?
No.
Sorry, your name seems to have slipped my mind.
I have devoted myself to enchantment and magic and understanding, and to the sea.
I have to say, you have a very fine place. You have here, my friend. I'm amazed.
My thanks. It took a very long time to learn the enchantments, to beguile the secrets from the Mare people.
I
Did
live
they
in a
help you?
house.
Did they help you build the establishment, or did you do it all on your own?
The art is a secret even amongst their people, so it took a very long time to fathom it. Then I've refined it in my own way.
Are we actually below the sea, or are we still topside? May I ask?
Oh, we are far, far below the surface.
I'm interested. Interesting. I'm intrigued.
There are many strange and wonderful creatures, even without magic, to be found deep. And there are secrets also. Deep secrets in the deep sea.
Secrets within secrets.
Indeed. Things that take a lifetime or many lifetimes to fathom.
Wait,
So, sorry, Lee, you wanna go?
we're deep underneath the ocean?
Yes.
I don't want to think about that.
He gestures again, and a table slowly forms itself out of the floor. A pair of armoured bears appear from archways in the side, but they're bearing trays with food and drink, which they lay out on the table.
You don't see that very often.
Tell me about it.
Please, eat your fill, drink your fill. Your crew should come and feast as well. I'm sure they're exhausted. I will make sure the storm doesn't return here.
Suspicion
When was the last time you had company,
warnings
Mike?
going off.
Sorry, I beg your pardon?
When was the last time you had company here, my friend?
Now that is a secret lost even to me. Time often eludes me down here, where the sun doesn't reach.
Now we've had thinking, Jim Meta. We've had these swords of Valander in our possession for quite some time,
Yes,
and been able to attune to them
yes,
and communicate in a subconscious way.
yeah.
So, do we get any bad vibes from the swords?
You get neither bad nor good vibes from the sword. Though, as you're concentrating on it, he sort of tilts his head and looks at you slightly. The swords of Valander. Albion's lost king, who sleeps beneath the forest.
You knew him?
In passing. One of his blades came from the water, though not the sea.
Ah,
Which blade was that?
the blade.
Hmm.
The mother of all blades. The mother of all swords.
A killer would know of that.
Did I have to spell it out to you?
Yes.
Yeah, what did that?
E-X-C.
Excalibur or its equivalent in this world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, I think it's reasonably safe. I think shall we pass on the invitation to the captain?
I'm sort of like leaning over to Becca and like can't really say anything. I suppose so. Although you know what happened last time we accepted food from an old man in a cave.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
if this fellow was an archmage, he could kill us anytime he wants.
That is true.
So let's just, let's assume that he's not going to kill us and eat his food.
Although,
Okay, so are you inviting the captain and the rest of the crew in?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, they seem a little wary at first, but then once they see the food and drink, they're grateful for it. Something fresh. It's nice to have.
Typical Italians.
Are you guys eating and drinking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Restore all your lost health,
Ooh.
if there's any still remaining lost.
Well, for a change, I'm not actually down in any health. I'm actually enjoying this food.
Yeah, so he talks with Milano. He talks with the captain. He seems to take the time to talk to every single person in the crew. He's interested in everything. The smallest bit of politics or news or anything from the surface and far away. He doesn't seem to be acting with any sort of ulterior motive of any kind.
He doesn't look like the guy Ben from The Spy Who Loved Me, who had that underwater piece.
No, he doesn't look like him.
Thank God for that.
At the end of the feast, Ajan stands and snaps his fingers, but it makes a sound like a thunderclap. So yeah, deafening. If I might crave your attention for a moment. I do not see people often. It has been tiring and wearing, but also wonderful. And in exchange for the news that you have brought me, I wish to give those of you of rank a gift. He claps his hands, and the bears reappear, carrying parcels, which they hand out to the captain, Milano, and each of you. Now, I must retire. Please finish feasting, return to your vessel, and I wish you all the best on your journey, for it is a quest for knowledge. And he bows again.
I'll raise my glass and say, to your good health, my friend, and thank you for your hospitality.
He nods to you again and makes his way out. So you each have a package.
How big is this package?
They are different sizes. So
Well, how big is my package?
Your package... it's quite small. It fits on your palm.
Oh, isn't that sweet? What's it wrapped up in, may I ask? Is it like fabric or seaweed?
It's wrapped in what appears to be seaweed, but it's like crepe paper.
Okay, I'll use a dagger or something to prise it open.
Okay. So inside there's a small box that's got a couple of barnacles on it. And when you pop it open, there is a silver chain with a polished sort of lozenge of pink coral.
Pretty.
And you can sense some sort of enchantment coming off it.
I'll wait and see what the others have got in their boxes to see if they open up their seaweed.
Okay. Basically, you've got an amulet that can heal all your wounds and any poison or disease damage that you've taken once, and then it crumbles.
There's a one-trick pony then.
Yep.
Okay.
Sir Elaine.
Still suspicious of highly on edge, but at least have a look at what is inside.
Your package contains a rather nasty-looking dagger. The handle is a bone, and it terminates in a skull, and the blade is black.
Swap you, sir.
Very tiny skull.
I'll swap you.
You sense magic coming off it, and you believe that if you drive the blade into a corpse, it will raise as a skeleton.
That's just the first thing that comes into my head.
Yep,
Definitely.
weirdly
Yeah.
enough. And Becca.
That's a nice party trick, that.
Okay. Yours is a ring of iron, though it doesn't seem to have rusted at all. And when you hold it, it's almost like you can hear a horse, sort of panting and neighing and braying and scraping at the ground with its hooves. So you think it must summon some sort of unnatural steed.
It's a seahorse. Yay!
You going to change my name to, was it Azriel or Aurora, or what's her name?
Fuck. Can't remember.
You're talking about the Little Mermaid, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ariel.
Ariel. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son would tell you that if he was here.
Well, these are splendid gifts, no mistake, aren't they? No mere
Yeah.
baubles.
It's a shame the one-trick ponies.
Don't get greedy.
I'm still, but I am willing to swap with you, Tin Man. This is a healing necklace. I believe that it may be able to heal you if you wear it.
Well, hang on a minute there. Whoa.
What?
Now, call me old-fashioned, but you shouldn't be looking a gift horse in the mouth, should you? A gift given freely should be accepted with grace.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
Re-gifting clearly goes against the rules of chivalry.
Oh, you're so old-fashioned, Jane. You're so old-fashioned.
Well, I don't know. Does Sir Elaine want his evil necromantic dagger of wickedness?
That's true. Does not seem like the sort of thing that a knight should get involved with.
Well, if you guys want to swap, that's fine. Yeah.
Just I'm worried about Sir Elaine's wound, that's all.
Fine, we'll swap.
Okay. This is when the building starts falling to bits. Indiana Jones time. Fuck!
Okay, so you all done? You all happy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we swapping then, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take. Is the dagger in a sheath, James? Is the dagger in a sheath?
Yes, it comes with a little black leather sheath.
Right. I'll put it to the right. So basically, I've got my sword to the left, my stabby dagger on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When the morning rolls around, everyone slept and somehow forgot to put a man on watch. But when you awake in the morning, the ship is entirely repaired, good as new. But the tower has disappeared, and you just seem to be in the middle of a calm patch of ocean.
Magic. Can't trust it.
Frickin' magic. Right. Once the captain and Milana get their bearings, you're another couple of weeks at sea before espying shore. You sail up the mouth of the Mungoda River through the estuary and further up the river until it starts to get too broad and too shallow for the cog. But that is where you arrive at the town of Paru. Paru is a large, sprawling town about 100 miles up the Mungoda estuary, so you were travelling up there for quite some time. There's no problem reaching it. The river's deep enough, at least up to that point, possibly even deeper. And the town lies on the fringes of swamplands and jungle. And the town consists of a whole bunch of bamboo huts built on stilts out over the river, with plank walkways connecting them one to another. A lot of the planks are made from bound together bamboo as well, so sort of as you're sailing up and passing by some of these buildings, you see people running across them and the whole plank bouncing like crazy. Ugh, you don't like the look of that. So the ship eventually comes to a halt, weighs anchor, and the crew start to make their way off onto shore, carrying goods with them.
Thank God we're on dry land.
Yeah,
Even though
you're waving from side to side as though the ground was shifting. And it's going to take you a while to get your land legs back.
Yep.
I, for one, feel much relieved to finally be on stable ground.
Terra firma.
What a dump.
Milano seems to have found an old friend here. They're exchanging a lot of hugs and handshakes and so on.
And kisses and cuddles and blah blah. Bloody Italians.
Friends, come.
Yes.
This is Imbi, he says, and gestures to the man. The man is very, very black, with intricate scars on his cheeks, but he's dressed in a fashion not too dissimilar to the clothing that you wear. So clearly he's some kind of interface between the traders from the continent and the people here.
Lord.
So he's basically like the chieftain stroke spokesperson for them.
Yeah. Good to see my friend returned and in such company. I've used up all my racism on the Italians, so I'm not going to bother with an accent for the natives.
Hey, speaking the language. Yay, get a casa.
Baba da boopy.
Bing.
Come, Milano and your friends. Let the crew unload everything. Let us drink and eat and come.
Be merry.
Yeah, so Imbi tries to sort of hustle you along to his home.
Yeah, this is when he's got a palace made out of bamboo.
Well, it is basically just a much larger hut, on the stilts, lifted up from the ground. The inside is a weird mix of sort of local tribal arts and crafts and things, and some more familiar furnishings and bits and pieces. Some of it's a bit incongruous, like a metal eating knife has a sort of pride of place hook on the wall where one of you might put a jeweled sword or a magic blade or something. So while they might have a lot of gold on this continent, clearly they haven't yet completely mastered steel.
Just goes to show you can at least try to civilize these people, at least somewhat.
Yes. Now, what time is it? This is about halfway through the adventure. So do you want to keep going for a bit, or do you want to stop here and then pick up the next session?
Halfway through the adventure seems like a good stopping point. If you think it is exactly halfway through, yeah.
It's pretty much. I mean, there's less detail in the second half, but it's much more action oriented.
That's cool.
I reckon it'll be, if we stop now, it'll be about as long for the next session to wrap up. Is everyone okay with that then?
Yeah. I'm sort of falling, losing concentration, falling asleep actually. So it's good for me as well.
That works out. All right, so that's a good place to stop for now.
Yep, that's fine.
Right, I'm sorry about the condition of the internet. I don't know what's been going wrong there, but it seems to have sorted itself out now. But I've recorded the session, so I'll try and put that up at some point. All right.
Who do you have the internet with, James?
Sky at the moment, I think.
Because I use iTalk and I only pay £20 a month. Sorry, £22 a month. I get unlimited internet and free calls during the weekend.
Yeah, we got some kind of special deal through the
Yeah.
because we get the TV and everything. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think it's our internet because everything else has been fine apart from YouTube. So I think it's just YouTube. Right, next session Saturday, hopefully. So yeah, let me know if you're free and available soon as.
I should be free, James.
Cool.
I don't know about the other.
And otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll see people later.
Okay.
Cheers, Jim.